you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today. Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and a hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Hello and welcome to Challenge Talk, part of the Geocache Talk Network. We broadcast live on the first Thursday of each month. Feel free to jump over to YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter to watch the broadcast live and join the wonderful and active chat room, or listen to the entire show on your favorite podcast player.
In this episode, we'll be chatting about the hugely popular GeoChallenge of the month that Lookout Lisa from Cache Advance and Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, who are with us tonight, run to give some more fun and excitement to our hobby. We also have prizes to give away each show to our listeners. Between each show, be sure to email your challenge cache finds to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com and you could be a winner.
And later in the show, we also play our special game exclusively for our live audience, the
Wheel of Challenges.
So listen live, get your email app ready, and follow instructions when the time comes so you can have a chance at winning the grand prize, a 1-year membership to Project GC. And later on, we'll highlight some of the challenges, the caches that you have found, and someone will win our monthly giveaway. And we are your hosts, Emily and Geoff from Cache the Line.
Hey there.
How has your month been? Any notable challenge caches found this month?
I have been doing challenge cache prep. So no finds since our last show, but I made sure to do some bookmarking work for some old challenges in an area that I'm going to on Saturday, map out some challenges, as well as map out challenges on the Project GC challenge map to make some future travel plans. So prep work this month. Yeah. And then Saturday, I'll get some on Saturday.
We're moving into winter.
Yes,
there's not a lot of traveling going to be happening.
Yeah.
I have been trying to complete the challenge DT grid. This is the thing that you can see in your profile under the challenges tab. It'll actually list your difficulty and terrain grid, so you can work on a fizzy of just challenge grid.
That's
DTs.
so cool.
4 DTs away now.
Nice. That doesn't surprise me at all. You have so many challenges around you. Cool.
And some of the DTs are pretty rare. I mean, there's like I think I have a 1 difficulty 3 terrain still to find. And I guess those are, 1 difficulty challenges are pretty rare. A challenge has got to be hard, right? So
right. That's a good point.
Yeah. I also discovered there is county statistics. So if you look in Project GC, you can see the number of fines and publishes. I gotta turn off my volume. I'm getting all these Discover notifications. You can see statistics for your counties, and so I did a look up for Ontario to see what our county statistics are, and it's kind of neat. Because somebody posted a while back in another group about competing counties to try to get people to publish better caches, higher quality. So caches per area, you can see the number of caches there are, and then you can also get a favorite points per area. So I looked at the top 10 quantity counties, compared that with their favorite points, and so now you can see the favorite points per cache average for the top 3 counties. Can you guess what Haliburton is? Probably not. It's the geocaching capital of Canada.
Oh, okay.
That's
Did we talk
Wilberforce's.
about that on a previous show?
Yeah, it's Wilberforce's county.
Sunday show. Cool.
So it's kind of in the middle of Ontario, so there's not a whole lot of caches, but because of that, all those favorite points going to those great caches.
Awesome.
And gets a high average. So yeah, you can take a look at that on Project GC by going to the top menu under statistics. There's caches per area and favorite points per area. So you can take.
I
a look
like
at those
that.
and
An informal challenge to make your county better. Cool.
Mm-hmm. So that was a fun little bonus I was looking at. I don't know how you could make a challenge out of that, but hopefully, pit some counties against each other to try to improve that favorite point average.
Fun.
So, you can, if you are listening or in chat, you can send your comments and questions to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com, and we might chat about them on the air. So, one other quick thing, we're going to try to get through a whole bunch of stuff right into our good topic tonight, but every show we just kind of highlight the current statistics on Project GC for challenges. They have a little box that shows their checker scripts and some nice little information there. So as of this afternoon, we now have 7,022 active scripts, and those are the things that handle all of the individual challenges worldwide, and that's up from 6,908. So that's 114 more than last month. So they're still making those scripts every month. I'm like, I don't know what they're actually writing, but there's new scripts. And that translates to 38,257 unique challenges. So we all know that there could be challenge caches that are duplicates of others, exactly the same requirements. This is unique challenges, so not GC codes. And that's up 285 from last month. And then we have 46,908 active tags. So those are basically all the unique checkers, unique GC codes. And that's up 412 from last month.
Great.
And that's not always active geocaches. That's just individual tags in their database. So the active challenge caches worldwide, according to geocaching.com, by doing a search, there are 32,256, which is up another 169 from last month. There should be a breakdown of which countries are getting all those challenges.
All right, we got more work to do for next podcast and break them down better.
Statistics.
Yeah.
Ooh, Pizza Ninja is asking Joshua, is Yoda Best behind you?
He's not behind me, but he's right here. Look at him. Look at him. He's so cute. Yeah, and you can discover him. Ready? HE62VH.
Woo.
That's it?
It's up on the, I don't know if you can zoom in. It's up on the wall.
Oh, it's
there.
under. Oh, yeah.
But, yep, HE62VH.
There it is, HE62VH. Yeah. Awesome. That's another one. Heather Waves. We got lots of people in chat. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're glad you're here with us.
Yes.
We
So,
got a good show.
yeah. Let's get into some news for this. We have a new month of Reach the Peak. We are now climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Has anybody been to Kilimanjaro?
No, but I want to do that for real. It's like
It's on my bucket list. Yeah.
It's like a mountain that's attainable to the lay person. Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember several years ago I watched a one of those IMAX films at the Science Museum, and it was all about like families that go together and climb Kilimanjaro together. It was really cool.
Cool. I got
Maybe-
something to research now.
Yeah, made me want to visit Tanzania.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's got to be tourist friendly, and there's got to be caches there. There's got to be.
Yeah, there's got to be.
I would imagine so.
Should have actually looked that up on the map and see if there's like an Earth cache or virtual at the peak.
All right, chat room, do that for us.
Extra points if anybody finds the cache that's actually at the peak of Kilimanjaro.
Oh, yeah, that'd be super awesome.
Someday. Yeah.
So this month for Reach the Peak, they've switched it up so that mystery caches get you the most points for your leaderboard, earning 700 points per find. And you can
That's
get all of the
good for
details.
my weekend challenge plans.
Yeah, how convenient.
GeoArts are great.
Yeah.
You can find all the details for points at geocaching.com/play/leaderboard. That will show you all of your friends' points as well as yours. Plus, you can get all the instructions and point values for earning or climbing the mountain. Next up, the Lego giraffe has been archived.
No.
Now, it was actually damaged, I think, right? I think that's why.
The giraffe was damaged, not
Yeah.
the cache.
Right.
Well, I think aren't they remodeling it? So they're just taking
Yeah,
take it
because
down
of the damage. Yeah.
and they're putting something new up. When I was there, I didn't even find the Lego. I just found a throwdown. You'll see it. It's on video, and I don't think the Lego was there that day.
Oh,
but,
wow.
But you know what? That's what was there. So that's what I logged.
And it gets the favorite point for the location because, I mean, come on, it's a huge Lego giraffe.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you remember what?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
No, I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Do you know what the now new most favorited cache is in the world?
I don't.
Headquarters?
I don't think it's headquarters.
You'd think, but no. It is, I don't know if I'm going to say this one right. It's also in Germany. Not much of a surprise. It is Geisthagen. It's, what is it? 9,068 favorite points. And I think the translation is the Ghost of Hagen. So I don't know what Hagen is. I know there's
Place?
Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
It's spelled differently.
Yeah.
I used to work for them.
2 A's and an accent. But what is it? 15,000 fines with 9,000 favorite points. That's still a pretty good percentage. I think it's like close over 50%.
Can you go to the pictures, Jeff, so we can see what's so great about it? Maybe it's a really cool location.
I checked that out briefly.
Is it a Lego?
Is it a Lego?
It looks like it's just like off a trail in a forest, but lots of people are bringing their ghosts. I don't know if that's the cache, because I guess that's in a lot of pictures. There is that big tree. I was thinking bush.
So maybe
there are
that's
some
a huge
translations.
ghost.
Yeah, because this is in a whole lot of pictures, so that ghost is there.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a ghost in a tree. I don't know if there's anything more special about it, but
Are there lots of
very
different
popular.
kinds of ghosts? Like it's just like a tree filled with ghosts?
Maybe. That would take some digging around in the photos and to try to find something.
Yeah.
The actual cache.
Yeah.
See, there's just lots
Oh
of
yeah,
different
multiple
kinds.
ghosts.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people showing ghosts. Yeah. Well, that's another one to take a look at if you're ever in Germany. All those challenges to find favorite points, that'll probably win you a lot of challenges.
Yeah, Chris says caching in Germany is a solid bucket list goal. I think so many of us agree with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Next up, the Geocaching International Film Festival begins a week on Sunday. That is the 13th to 21st. And I think we know a few faces
Yeah.
in the
I'm
in the film lineup.
excited. I don't think I'm going to get to an event. I couldn't find a place to host an event that was safe and allowed enough people. So I have to wait for the real, but I'm very excited.
Yeah,
Did
and
you
I think a
guys-
lot of people are hosting outdoor events this year, for places that actually are allowed to have gatherings outside, but indoor is still questionable. I think there are now 2 GIF events in all of Ontario, both outside, I think. But it's, Geocaching HQ is now allowing people to still earn the gift souvenir by watching the videos after the 22nd online on YouTube when they're published. And if you find the discovery code and log your discovery of that special travel bug, then you can still earn that souvenir without having necessarily attended an official GIF event.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
it's
good.
nice of them.
We're having one here.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's been interesting that GCHQ has been attaching souvenirs to like finding trackables. So the Mars rover one, and then I think there was also a trackable promotion that it was the Texas Instruments. If you just log the trackable, you get the souvenir. So that's just kind of interesting that they're now attaching, trackables to souvenirs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When they first brought out the souvenirs, I was thinking, you know what? They could probably make a souvenir for almost anything that they can track. 'Cause I think it's like more technical on the back end. It's all just an algorithm. If you do this related to geocaching, you can earn the souvenirs. So a lot of flexibility in that. And we cannot forget December 5th, the podcast of hope.
Yeah,
Starts
I'm
at-
excited.
Yeah, 4 p.m.
have-
Central,
Go ahead.
8 hours. It's going to be long and tiring, but awesome.
But a really awesome lineup. So every hour has a new feature. Joshua, you are part of the announcement of our lineup, and everything sounds very exciting. Some top-notch guests, and of course, the most important part, raising funds for the kids at St. Jude. So we're gonna, I'm sure, blast our amount from last year out of the water, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, we're aiming for $10,000 this year, and the link to donate is kind of long and hard to remember. So if you go to www.geocachetalk.com/hope, the video that announces the lineup and the link for donations and the actual podcast stream are all available there. So visit that URL, geocachetalk.com/hope, to get everything related to this upcoming massive geocaching fundraiser.
Yeah, we raised
gonna be so
$10,000 last year, so we can do it again. And you can donate anytime, but there will be hourly prizes for folks who donate in those hours. So maybe you want to donate several times.
Yep, don't want to miss it.
No.
Yeah. Let us know how Cash Advance can help out with that too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go into this big, huge, crazy topic. See, at Challenge
It's a fun
Talk,
one.
yeah, we like to talk about challenges and challenge caches, but it's more of a goal-oriented type of aspect to geocaching. So it's not just challenge caches. It's anything that gets us to go and do things we may not have done, adding that extra level to the geocaching hobby. And that's why we have Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, and Lisa from Cache Advance to chat about the GeoChallenge of the month. It's got challenge in the title.
Yeah.
I had to have it on the show.
Seems appropriate. It's kind of funny because we've been doing this for 6 years, and Lisa and I have never talked about it on any podcast ever.
Never.
Yay! Welcome.
So we were just waiting for a podcast with the name Challenge in it, and that's what made it possible.
This is where you belong. Thank
Yes.
you.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's
So
great.
could one of you just explain what the GeoChallenge of the month is? Because there may be some people who have never heard of it before.
Sure. Lisa, do you want to take it or do you want me to take
Yeah,
it?
sure. I can start and you can fill in.
Great.
Yeah, whatever I miss. So yeah, this is something that we cooked up, yeah, like Joshua said, 6 years ago, to do a challenge every month. And there I am, sorry. And so we come up with an idea that is doable by most cachers, and some of them they have an alternate way to do them as well. But I issue a challenge, and it's not necessarily to find a challenge cache. Some of the very first one was to do maintenance on a geocache, and then Joshua accepts the challenge. He goes out and does it, and then we challenge everybody else to do it. And then at the very end, we do a drawing, and they can win a coin.
Very exclusive, very rare. Look at that. What
Yeah.
a beaut. What a beaut.
This is the second place coin. And I thought I had a first place coin here, but I don't. And then there's a retail version as well. Yeah, that's the second. Oh, yeah.
And I have a
So
second
chic.
place
Look at
coin.
this.
I think second place coins all around.
We got winners in the house.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
yeah, the
have
code is in
the red retail version.
Yeah. That's this one. So yeah, this is kind of a way to help us fund all of our activities and such that we do with this. And there's a Facebook group that you can go to and post all of your adventures working on the challenge each month. And then you have to submit to Joshua your challenge that you completed it via email. And that's all in the videos that he wonderfully puts together. He's amazing at editing the goofs that I end up sending to him for my challenge part.
And
I think your videos are cool because it's a combo of you putting forth a challenge and then Joshua going out and doing the challenge.
Mm-hmm. And that it first started out as a challenge to maintain a cache. Like it was a great way to get people in a way to do stuff that they should already be doing
Exactly.
Right.
as a cache owner, right?
Yeah. One of our goals was just like, what kind of things can we do that would really bring positivity to the geocaching community? Things that would challenge people to get out and maybe try things that they had never tried before. Yeah, and that's been, ever since I've been on YouTube, that's really the whole purpose I do it, is to inspire people to go out and do different things in the world of geocaching. And I really felt like it was great. 6 years ago, I approached Lisa, and we have very similar goals in that, Lisa is very much about, I don't want to speak for you, Lisa, so chime in, but is about equipping geocachers to go and do things and get out. So it just felt like a match made in heaven, in geo heaven, to partner together and have some fun. And it's so fun because Lisa challenging me to do some of these things, I wouldn't have done it otherwise necessarily. And Geoff, this as somebody who creates videos on a regular basis. After doing this for quite some time, I've been making videos for over 10 years. It can be a little bit challenging to continue to be creative. So to have somebody feed me some creativity from the video standpoint, that's another bonus on my side.
Yeah, because you've got, I don't know how many different challenges out there, but are you trying to be unique every single time? Do you know if there's any challenge that has been duplicated more than once?
I don't think we've ever duplicated.
We've never duplicated, and I think this month we're at challenge 52.
That is so cool.
But it is challenging, and we'll pull back the curtain a little bit here.
Yeah, let's do
I wanted to ask you behind the scene questions. I want to know things. That's the way my brain works. So yes, thank you.
So as it's presented, it seems like, and I'm not, no disrespect to Lisa, but not all of the ideas come from her at first. Sometimes I'm like, this would be a fun challenge, and then she issues it to me. So sometimes I feed some of the challenges, and she's like, "Oh, good idea." And then other times I'm like, "What about this?" She goes, "No, I think we should do this month." I was like, "Okay, I'll do that." So it's truly a collaboration between both of us and trying to be creative with the challenges, because it's getting more and more difficult, because Lisa said we want them to be doable. But we also want them to be a challenge.
Right.
We don't want them to be just easy. It is a challenge. So, and some months are easier than others. It's so fun when we issue the challenge. It's always like, oh, this month is going to be just a piece of cake for me. And then that same person the next month will be like, oh, this is going to be a tough month for me because I don't have any virtuals around me, or I don't have anywhere I goes near me. So it's really interesting, because what's a challenge to one person is not always a challenge to another person. Right. And I think you probably talk about that on the podcast all the time. It's like, oh, I'm in an area that has a ton of these, so.
Right. Yeah. We all have different abilities as well too. So, what could be, an easy hike for somebody might not be so easy for somebody else. So that's why it's a challenge. So yeah, the beauty of geocaching.
Yeah.
I appreciate. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, you have a little bit of flexibility as well, I guess, because it's not real challenges. It's not statistical. It's like you can come up with anything, find a cache near a garbage dump or something like that if you wanted to.
Yeah, that sounds great.
No,
I've got one around me.
So, and that's the other thing. It's like sometimes there's such simple challenges, and hundreds, I don't know how many people submit, but hundreds, maybe thousands of people could send in submissions. And but the fun in the challenge that I find is that being creative in doing it as well. Like if it's to find a where I go, yeah, you could just go find a where I go, log it, and send in proof. But the fun of the Geo Challenge is to enjoy it, have fun with it.
Yeah, totally. It's that a lot of them are a little bit subjective. And it's like, for example, find a spooky cache. Well, what's spooky to one person might not be spooky to So we have for subjective months, it's like, okay, you found a fake spider. That was spooky, I guess. So yeah, some of the months are subjective, and it's all in good fun. It's all about just getting out there and trying to complete the challenge, even if it's sometimes a little bit subjective. But sometimes it's not subjective. It's like I'm looking right now, July 2017. Find a cache 3 days in a row. Stuff like that. So that's pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know the spooky challenge. All I did was I found a cache that it was kind of in a little, maybe a spooky place, a guardrail. Ooh, but
You don't know what's in there.
Right.
that's right. But
Lost.
you take off the lid, and the spookiness. It was a notebook with a ghost on the front. That's it.
Oh,
It's like, whoa!
It made for a funny Instagram post.
Yeah, just a quick little short.
That's
Yeah,
great.
you just have fun with
Well,
it.
yeah, and even I appreciate some of your flexibility. I have no spooky caches around me, so I hit a spooky cache, and so I appreciated that way to accomplish the challenge. And I saw this idea almost 3 years ago in another state, and I've been kind of collecting items to make the cache, and the challenge gave me the oomph to go out and do it in the right month, because it was kind of a skeleton type thing. So yeah, that was great the way I
That's perfect.
accomplished it.
Yeah.
And you made
that's
the good
perfect.
point as well. Like, it's not just about finding; it can also be about placing a cache.
Yes.
It's like there's a theme, so follow the theme whether you're finding or placing. All right.
Yeah, and not every month we'll have those opposite options, but sometimes that we do, especially if we know that it's going to be a difficult, goal to meet for a lot of people. Then we'll give them an alternative, like hide one instead of finding one. Absolutely. The thing I love is watching the Facebook group and the pictures of everybody and the videos that they post. It's just amazing the fun that they're having, taking their family out or making a special trip just to complete the challenge. I just love watching all of that.
That's a good point. I really like the Facebook group too, because along with the theme are the posts that you're seeing throughout the month. You resonate with them because you're working alongside that theme yourself.
Yeah.
So I like that group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing with the videos that's been really cool, and I think Geoff, because you make videos, you appreciate this. There have been some people that started doing the Geo Challenge and started making videos. Like that was like their thing. It's like, I'm going to try to make a video of the Geo Challenge, and then they just kept making videos, and now they like do that on a regular basis, which is I don't know. That's kind of cool that the Geo Challenge inspired them to kind of be a different type of geocacher. I love
That's
that.
awesome.
I think of Geoff. I think of Sir Drumalot. Like he started by just doing Geo Challenge videos, and now he posts videos all the time, which is really cool.
Yep. And another one, Cache Continuum. Subscribe to them, but for the last maybe year or so, they only ever upload videos for Geo Challenges.
Yes. Yeah. That's fun. And a little a small known fact. It's in the fine print. I'm going to say it here because this is behind the scenes. But if you look at the rules, because I list the rules on in the description of YouTube, I always have one entry that's a video entry.
Yep.
So if people are like, if they want to increase their chances of winning, they can submit a video of any size. It could be a short, it could be an Instagram thing, it could be a Facebook video. Just because if pictures paint 1,000 words, then a video paints 1,000,000 words, right? So
Right.
we wanted to encourage people to venture out in the video world. So there you go. Not everybody knows that. So if you haven't won, start shooting video.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And it's for all three
Better.
places. It could go any place.
Yeah, it could be any place. Yeah.
Yeah. It guarantees you at least one. I don't know how you'd calculate the chances for that, but another spot guaranteed for a video. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And definitely join that Facebook group for Geo Challenge of the Month because you send in the stuff to Joshua, but by sharing it, it's kind of like sharing stuff on Instagram and all that. It's social, but here at least with the Geo Challenges, you get to see other people and how they interpret the challenge, and most of the time it can be pretty entertaining.
Well, absolutely. And like you were saying, it's fun to watch everybody working together on a similar challenge. In their own area and in their own way, month in, month out.
Here's a random question. So with the Geo coins, I have 2 of them. I still gotta. There's so much luck involved with the draw. I need to get the what is it? The third place, and the retail coin. But how many of these coins do you usually mint? Is it like an annual one, or do you make a huge stack and just go until they're gone?
Yeah, we've reminted once. I think the first minting was enough to get us through about 2.5 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And we're actually getting low again. So I'll need to mint again soon. I think I really only have like 3 or 4 of the retail version left.
Ooh,
I
Jeff.
definitely-
Hurry up.
Yeah, so if you want one, now's your chance. And this one is for sale too. And grabbed one off the shelf. But we're getting low on the other ones. So definitely will need to be reminting again soon. So a couple hundred of each version is what
I guess they do last a long time if you're only giving away 3 a month.
Right. But the retail, we make
The
more
retail
of
go
that
fast.
for sure.
Yeah. And they would get that at cash-advance.com.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah, we just launched a brand new redesign of our website too. But
Ooh,
it is
that's
up
exciting.
there. Yeah, it's very exciting. It looks great.
Good.
The old girl was 16 years old. It was time for a refresh.
Good.
And speaking of the coin, one quick thing. These are Chris Mackey design.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I
Good
think he's
name
in the
drop.
chat too. I thought I saw his name earlier.
He is here. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And he was super helpful with us organizing the colors and such, because it was when we first started this, it was early in the time that my company was doing coins. So I was a little bit inexperienced, and he's been a great mentor for us.
And the design hasn't changed since you started? It's the same one?
Currently, it's still the same.
Nice.
Ooh.
We were debating like, oh, if we change the design, there's gonna be, it would be kind of cool, but there are gonna be some people that are trying to collect all of them, and to discontinue one would be really, I think, disappointing to people. So
Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah. I
Well-
agree with that.
Yeah.
Because it would be cool to add to this collection, and I couldn't if you do that.
Right.
Yeah, like
So-
what you could do if you were to do that, you could say if there's, when you get to maybe 50 left or some number left, then you can give people the option. So then if you have the new design, new coins, and they already have the old one, then they can get the new one, or they could choose maybe. But while supplies last, at least give people chances to, because I mean, the other thing is once it's cut off, they become rare and a lot more desirable.
Right. Yeah. At some point, somebody's going to be disappointed. when they're gone.
Yeah. Can't please everyone.
Yeah, another option would be, if we do change the design, anything left over, people could purchase to complete their set if they have some left, because we have kind of odd amounts. But again, they were earned originally, so I'm nervous about how that might roll over.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, I think it's great that that's the prize. It's really exciting to see, and who's going to win? Will it be me this month? Yeah, I love it.
And the Geo coins as prizes are always more valuable as well because they're nice and heavy and tangible, and love them.
Yeah, I make my retail version travel through each cache that qualified me for it that month.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic idea.
And so you were saying this October's GeoChallenge was spooky. November's coming up. Are you announcing it soon?
I don't know. Lisa, are we
Ooh, can we be top secret squirrel with you guys? That's another aspect we should talk about.
Well, yeah, we usually post it on the first Sunday of the month. This month we're a little, it's the 7th is the first Sunday of the month. So it's as late as it could be. My patrons already know. So I don't know.
The patron has dropped already?
Yeah, the patron dropped last night.
Okay.
So I did that on purpose, just in case we wanted to leak it out. So I could go either way. Lisa, it's up to you. What do you think?
I'd be okay as an exclusive here.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So let's
Today.
explain. So Joshua, your patrons get this early video.
Yes.
So how early is it?
It's usually just a couple days, maybe 3 days at the most.
But I know that on some months it's given me the leg up to accomplish it on that Saturday when I'm out caching before it comes out on Sunday.
That is true. So when I do published earlier for the patrons. It's usually on Thursday. With that in mind, like, oh, they're going to get a couple extra weekend days. And that's just as a thank you for people that support my videos. So yeah, it's just one of the perks of
It is a
support.
perk I use monthly.
Mhm.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's
Awesome.
good. That's good feedback. I'm glad it's valuable.
Yes, it is.
I see so many people, after Sunday when it is released publicly, they're like, "Oh, I just did that yesterday."
Yes.
Mhm. Yep.
And if they were a patron, then they would have known.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to drop it?
Sure.
All right,
we will.
drop it.
Well, I think it would be appropriate, since we are on Challenge Talk, and this month, and we didn't even plan this, Lisa. This month, the mystery cache is extra points to climb Kilimanjaro. What? We didn't even plan that.
No, that we
The
didn't
Geo
plan.
gods are on our side. The Geo Challenge of the month for November 2021 is to find or hide a challenge cache, or I believe qualify for a challenge cache. Was that another addition? I think that you said
Well, qualify and find.
qualify
or,
and find. Yes,
or hide. And to
Yes.
hide one now, you have to qualify for it too.
Oh,
True. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So yeah. So the video I posted, I found a challenge cache and I hit a challenge cache. So
Timing is everything. Yeah, no, that's perfect for Challenge Talk, because maybe all of our listeners will be able to qualify for GeoChallenge this month,
Yes.
because we have that our contest to send in challenge caches that you qualify for.
that's
Sweet.
cool.
So double win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it in 6 years that we haven't done this yet. That's
Yeah.
it's kind of
I
it's
know,
kind of
with
shocking.
challenge in the name.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, it
It's
worked
all
out all
fate.
perfectly. Yep, it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Joshua, in the video, if you did that B-roll, that is an actual challenge cache that I hid
Oh,
last week.
cool.
Ah.
Yeah. So in the process, I qualified for my own challenge.
Very
you go.
good. That's awesome. Well, what challenge was it?
It's actually it's a 365-day challenge. Just filling in your calendar, basically,
Mhm.
not the streak, but the whole calendar one. And I hid that originally many years ago, but the location became a homeless camp. So it's been disabled for some time. And I decided, I'm just going to archive that and then hide a brand new one. So people that are local that have already found it, they can find it again.
Great.
Yeah.
You're good.
So pretty basic, but it was still fun. And I realized I have not hidden a challenge cache since the moratorium was lifted. And so you have all those extra steps to go
Right.
Yeah.
through. And that was a learning experience for me.
Hmm. Yeah, it
Yeah.
really. Yeah, it is a learning experience.
I will confess, I don't know what I'm doing. I should be watching your show. I assume you've had a show on how to hide a challenge cache. But I don't know how to get the script for the checker to get to work on my cache. Like, I need to do a little more research. So
I had a heck of a time with that. Yeah, it was not behaving for me.
Oh, wow, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back, show number 9 was Emily's first challenge cache hide.
okay.
Okay.
There you
Went
go.
through
Number
a
9.
number of steps. Yeah, show
Right.
number 9.
I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah.
I need help.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting learning curve, and I talk about that and talk about what was slightly frustrating, but also really positive out of the new steps, and I can appreciate why those steps are in place.
Oh yeah, I certainly can too. Yeah.
And Craig just
Good.
made a good point. Hiding challenge caches are very different now and have more rules.
Mhm.
On one hand, it's harder and more difficult, but on the other hand, it's a little easier because it's a lot more just statistically driven. So it's a lot easier to, like, you just need to basically get a script checker, stick that in the description. As long as that's good, you're good to go. Let the script writers worry about those details and that difficulty. Coming up with an
Right,
idea.
The idea
That's
is
the hard
your is your challenge, but the script writing, you don't have to learn any new skills there.
So
That's-
let me ask you a question, guys. There's a little tutorial here. You can help me. So if I find a challenge that is the same as the challenge that I want, but do I have to have it associated with my new GC number?
Yes.
Like, okay. Okay, so I
And
can't just. It's not
That's
just
that's
cut
the
and paste.
tag.
Okay.
So in the stats that I mentioned at the beginning, that's the tag. So that's the it takes the challenge script and tags it for a specific GC.
Okay.
I think on the
All right.
back end, as far as I know, I think it just helps them sort out the numbers of qualifications and fails so that the numbers are all right for the GC codes.
Oh yeah,
Gotcha.
that makes sense. That's a good way of looking at it.
So it's a unique checker per GC code.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got myself through all that portion, but then I couldn't find it after I made it.
Oh.
I don't know. It was probably user error. I was late at night. I wanted to get it done.
Well, the other nice thing is the Project GC forums, the script writers and whatnot are very helpful.
Yeah.
So any thread in there, they'll answer and help you through and give you all the links and everything.
Right. My reviewer was wonderful because I told them I would archive my original cache because I just had it disabled once I knew that one was going to be published. And so she went ahead and locked it and told me when she was going to publish it. So I felt comfortable archiving mine so no one else would take that idea and run with it before mine got published.
Oh, good.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Teamwork.
Ah,
Well, the
it's
Pizza
teamwork.
Ninja says his gears are turning now, and he may have to do an attribute challenge hide.
Awesome.
Very good. That's why we do this, for our inspiration.
My challenge was to very simple, to have earned at least 200 souvenirs. Because I'm a souvenir hound. I love the souvenirs. So that was my challenge.
And you could make
You're-
those numbers pretty high. I remember one of the first souvenir challenges I did. I think there was a 51 and nearby there was 100. And it's kind of like, ooh, did I make it? Because I've been a souvenir hound too for a while, but still there's been a lot more opportunities lately to get them versus several years ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
absolutely.
sure.
When they first came out, it's like a dime a dozen now. When it first came out, they were literally for locations, like souvenirs for visiting and finding a cache in a new region that you haven't been to. And now
Or
they're
a
like
mega
everywhere.
event.
Right.
Yeah, or the caching every day in August was the first big one.
Yeah.
A souvenir for every single day
Yeah.
you find a cache in August. Yeah.
It's so funny because I was having a conversation with retired guy. I don't know, you guys know Doug McCrae, and he is a souvenir hound. That's his thing. I think he has the most in the United States.
Oh, fun.
And the way that he is racking them up is he targets trips where he specifically goes to because Geo Tours. It's like you complete a Geo Tour completely 100%, you get the souvenir. So it's so fun to hear where he's been. I was like, well, what this weekend? Which Geo Tour are you going to complete? So, so you can continue to be a number one in the U.S. And I think he's getting close to number one in the world.
Oh,
Man.
And
awesome.
it helps. It
Souvenirs?
helps that he has like hundreds of countries too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah, I thought that was a great idea when they added that to Geo Tours. We ran 3 Geo Tours locally, but that was before you could earn a souvenir. And we didn't require them to finish everything to earn the coin.
Right.
So nobody earned their souvenirs.
Yeah,
Darn it.
I did a Geo Tour last weekend, and I was on my last log of the last cache of the tour. I'm like, okay, pop up souvenir. It's so simple, but I wanted it.
Absolutely.
It's my one gripe. GCHQ, hear me. My number one gripe. I don't complain much, but please allow that souvenir to be unlocked when you find 90% of the tour. Because how often, like I've traveled to places just to complete the Geo Tour, just to get the souvenir, and a cache or two is not there or not maintained, and then I'm not coming back there. So please, 90%. That sounds good. You pretty much completed the tour at 90%. I mean, come on. Lisa just said she gives out coins, and you don't have to complete the whole thing.
I do. Yeah.
Are you guys with me? Are you with me?
As a maintainer
yeah.
of a Geo Tour, my heart sinks when I get a bad log, because I feel bad for that person, and then the pressure is on to get that cache replaced before someone else comes through.
Right.
So on my end, it's pretty
Yes.
pretty intense. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we make free spaces for any caches that are disabled or archived before the tour is done or the challenge. But
Yeah, that's a good point. The tour I did this weekend in Bend, Oregon, you could earn the coin prize by finding or earning points, and points came from the caches or staying overnight or turning in receipts. And so, of course, I was going to find all the caches for the souvenir, but it gave options, just like you're saying, Lisa.
Awesome. Hey, we did that coin for the band. It's still in production.
Yes, I'm excited to get it. My passport is turned in and I'm waiting.
Awesome. Yeah,
Great.
the sample turned out great. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love the tour.
Should I start a petition? Should I start a petition? Everybody's agreeing with me.
Start it.
Yep.
I think
lots of 90%.
I think I can make it happen. I can make a comic book and I can make this happen.
If you can. Okay, everyone, we should say, Joshua, you are fully funded for your comic book in 4 days. We were just talking about that before the show. You hit that mark today. So if you can fully fund a comic book in 4 days, I think this position would be so simple.
Yes. Yes.
Well, and I'm curious now, is there even a way to say, like, if you've got 17 caches in your Geo tour, if you could say maybe earn the souvenir after finding 15 of them?
Yes.
I mean, that would
they could choose
some kind of threshold.
Let the tour owner maybe have a say in the percentage or that number, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
it would be a programming challenge for HQ.
I'm sure.
Really, the all or nothing makes it easy, but it's it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
It's definitely
they made Adventure Labs.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a trackable on Mars, so I'm thinking they could
science,
do.
Guys. Yep.
So December is also coming up. Now you said through December is the last Geo Challenge each
For the year.
right?
Yeah.
And then you take a little bit of time off.
Yeah, we take a winter break.
3 months off. 3 months.
You don't like winter Geo Challenges?
Well, yes, they're great, but I think that I think we found with the break there builds more anticipation to start it up again. People are begging for more in that way rather than just kind of have it go all the time. I guess we found that like people really miss it and then they get excited about it in April.
Yeah.
So that's what we found.
Yeah, and you can do a big launch for the restart of the new season.
Yep, for sure.
Kind of like TV series, TV seasons.
I was
summer
just going
break.
to say that. Yeah, it's just like that. Yeah, and it also gives us time to, come up with some good ideas for the next year.
Yeah. And that's another thing that, go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of time, I'm impressed. You guys put out these challenges, and Joshua, you make a video, and I feel like I'm seeing in your videos they're extremely timely. Like, whatever season it is, whatever color the leaves are, it's all. So you're doing this very quickly, right? And having this come in. I mean, maybe you had your idea several months ago, but you're filming current challenges. Yeah,
well, it is interesting. I think they're so timely usually because it's like, Lisa and I text each other. We're like, okay, it's 10 days. What are we doing? What do you think? What's coming up?
That never happens.
Well, you look very graceful under pressure.
We were thinking about making this month's challenge. Watch the GIF film, which would have been very easy to prove, right? Because whether they watch it on YouTube or at an event. So that was an option, but now we can just have it for maybe next year for next November.
Yeah. And maybe when it's not as simple and there's not the online option. Yeah.
And they're giving away the souvenir to anybody who attends or watches them anyway. So they're already getting a souvenir.
Right.
So they're already winning something. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can you think of what the shortest turnaround time was between a challenge idea and having to get a video out?
I don't know.
10 days. 10 days seems like it could be a lot, but
it's often me finding the perfect day to do the perfect video, and what's really helped me is Joshua's editing ability, so I don't have to get it just right, in one take. So that allows me to get something done more quickly and timely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And you guys have been doing this for 6 years. You said this is their 52nd month, 52 months?
Yes. 52 months. That's
Now,
a full year. There you go. There's
Yeah.
Hey,
One small year.
So what are your one of some of the most memorable ones to you guys?
Oh my gosh, I'm looking at them right now. And I'm looking at some of these are really. I mean, as I'm reading them, I can't believe we even did them. The October 2017. This is funny because this was probably the most challenging one for people to complete, and it was do the cache pants dance.
Oh my gosh.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember where I did it, Lake Lanier in Georgia.
Oh wow.
Yep. And that was the month that I started vlogging as well. So I do remember that was the first time that I saw the GeoChallenge, actually.
That's funny. Yeah, because some people, they're just like, let's be honest, some geocachers are a little reserved. So they're like, I don't know. And they had to send a video that month because I can't, if it's a picture, I can't tell if you're dancing. So basically, you had to find a cache and then dance. That was the challenge.
Yeah.
And some people really were nervous. They was like, I don't know about that. So
I
Oh,
was
that's
nervous
great.
doing it.
that was a funny one. I'm looking at some of the other ones. At least I don't know if you have any that stick out in your mind. I'm looking at all of them right now.
It's funny. I can remember caches where I qualified for it, but right now I can't remember why it was the challenge of the month. So I can remember one I was in Bamboo, one I was at the ocean. I can't even remember what this year's September was, but I did that one at a little free library. But
Yep.
I know it wasn't Little Free Library Month, was it?
It was
Oh,
find a
it
library.
was.
It
Find a
was.
library
Okay.
cache.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be a real library or a little free library.
Yeah. So I can remember cache locations.
Right.
Some of them were to find a cache by like a waterfall
Yep.
Mhm.
or
By
a body of
water.
water.
Yep. Yeah, I'll just read. I'm going to read some of my favorites. So, or I could read them all if you want. But let's see. Take a Muggle geocaching was great.
Yeah.
It was really fun to take somebody who'd never been geocaching before, geocaching that. And I love that because, gosh, just think about that. We just multiplied the geocaching universe by having people take people geocaching.
Yeah.
We've got, let's see, find a cache that is more than an hour away. However
Yes.
you interpret that. So
Remember that one?
if you have a car, then it's 60 miles. If you don't have a car, it's as far as you can walk in an hour, I guess, or
Mhm.
bike.
Mhm. Just
Log a
travel
cache. Log a cache with at least 250 words. So it was like a long,
yeah. I remember that.
yeah, and they had to send us. And we got some really fun, logs and stories and stuff like that. That was kind of different. Find a front yard cache. Love that.
Yeah.
Find a cache using alternative means of transportation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I did electric scooter on that one. That was
I
a lot
did
of
too.
fun.
Yeah. The
Um,
rental one, so fun.
Some
Find
people
a
got really creative with those. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Find a TV or movie themed cache. That was
Mhm.
fun. This one was, I guess, maybe easy or maybe not. Geocache wearing geocaching apparel.
Oh, yeah.
And we were accompanying that with the geocaching tees that Lisa
Okay.
puts out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank a
Uh-huh.
geocacher.
Wait, fake? What?
Thank.
Oh, thank.
Thank you.
Thank them.
Fake being a geocacher.
No, be a fake geocacher. This year, this was a fun one. May 2021. Find a cache. This is like this would be a real like challenge cache. Find a cache that was hidden before your first find.
I remember that this month. And that for me, my first option that month was in a cemetery that got locked before I got there that
Oh my
night.
God.
So
Oh, no.
I had to find a different one. It worked out. I don't remember how, but I remember the cemetery was locked.
And that one's good for people if they're working on their Jasmer challenge to find the oldies. Because chances are, if you still got to get your Jasmer, you qualify.
Yeah. And that, the fun thing about that one was like the old time geocachers, like the ones that have been geocaching forever, that's really challenging,
Yeah.
But if you just started caching, so easy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those that have been caching for a long time, we have more options, like in a way, So yeah, that would have been a hard one for me had I had to complete it that month. Because I started in 02.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be hard.
19 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's lots of other ones, but those were some of the ones that stuck out to me. There's a lot of like do good stuff. There's like CETO events, and there's like
Mhm.
leave swag and geocaches, and
Yeah.
stuff like find a Christmas theme one. And I think people were putting like I put gift cards in.
Right, I
caches.
remember that.
I love that. Yeah.
Putting
A
a
lot of
gift in
people
one.
did that. Mhm.
Yeah.
That was my I wasn't pay it forward. It was the theme of my Geo Vlogmas series 2 years ago. Was to put a gift in a cache for somebody.
Yeah.
Wrap it up, but
The
something a
next
little more
geocacher.
Yes.
Nice.
Next to find. That's what it was.
Next
Hashtag
to
next to find.
Yeah.
Think about that. One of the months where it's a do good. Think about how many hundreds of people are doing good, through
That's so cool.
geocaching. It's
So cool.
great. So is it hundreds? Are you getting hundreds of entries? Are you
Yeah.
topping
Yeah, hundreds.
1,000?
We're not thousands a month, but it's hundreds. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's got to be a lot of work
Thousands.
for through email.
Yeah, and I do. But speaking of that, I still have to go through last month's emails. But yeah, I do literally. People ask me, "Do you literally go and check and make sure they complete the challenge?" And I sure do. I go through I read every single email, and I make sure that they actually did it.
Awesome.
Good. So, and you've been doing this for so long. I think is it just one person who's completed every single GeoChallenge?
That I know of, yes. So Brent Smith, Sim Rebel, also a YouTuber, he's completed every single one
That
Every
is
single
just
one.
insane.
cool.
for the past 6 years.
Wow.
It's just
Insane in a
Does
good
he have
way.
all the coins? Has he won all the?
he just I think last month, Lisa, didn't he? Last month he won the last coin he needed.
That sounds familiar.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yep, he won last month, and
That's patience too.
yeah. Well,
Wow.
yeah, it took him, and I think he won very early on before we had the coins. So then he had to kind of win again. But I mean, yeah, only way you can win is if you play. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's awesome. So yeah, if you are listening live or later on, then definitely check out GeoChallenge on Facebook and subscribe to the Geocaching Vlogger if you aren't already. and watch for his videos coming out on like you said, the first Sunday of every month.
Yes, and
And,
especially do this month's.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Our challenge to our listeners. You got to do this one.
There's so many reasons. You get extra points for the Kilimanjaro, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
and
That too.
qualify for your stuff in your podcast. Yeah, double dip time. This is the double dip month.
Coin.
Cool.
Exactly.
Shiny.
So, and the colors, it was green, purple, and blue, right?
Yeah,
For the
blue and
coins?
gold is first place,
Mhm.
which I failed to grab. I thought I did, but I didn't. The green and silver is second and third.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one coin for second and third.
Mhm.
And then the purple was a very special edition coin that I give to for special things. I think I gave it to my patrons when they first came out, and then sometimes I give away for prizes and stuff like that. So that's a special like contest, or hey, somebody was really nice to Josh, and here's a coin.
Yeah. And then the retail version is red, and red is the signature color for Cache Advance,
Okay, great.
our logo color.
And I really love the glitter, the black glitter in each coin.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Glitter's always fun.
Glitter's always fun.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right in the center of the thumbs.
Yeah.
Right there. Nice. Good addition.
Yeah. They're like busting through. Yeah.
The two thumbs. Did you ever do two thumbs for your videos at all? Because I know you got yes. That was one thing you're doing.
I
And
was
your Cache
doing
Pants
that.
Dance and,
Yeah, I was. But before I was doing the yes thing, I was doing double thumbs up. So that was very early on in my videos, and I think that's where that came from, Lisa. And we were just trying to think of a way to show, you guys on your logo have the trophy, but we just thought, I don't know, we just thought thumbs up was pretty.
Yeah, it's
pretty
great. And now iconic.
pretty universal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they kind of look like
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse. Again.
Like the
There's
gloves you
do.
mean?
There's gloves on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are gloves, or they're just
Yeah, we do.
coin
Yeah.
fingers.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah. Chris did a good job.
Yes, we did.
Well, we got to move on. We are now over an hour, so we've got still our
Oh, we
prizes
knew it'd
to
be a
give
good
away.
chat. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's still so much to talk about with that, but I think it is about time for
Wheel of Challenges.
You know, I always thought, I'm an audio listener, Geoff. I always thought you were saying that live. I didn't know that was a button.
I was saying it live, but I wanted to get the echo in there, so I had,
Yeah,
I
our
had to
button's
make up
only a
sound
few
for
months
it.
old.
Oh, it's brand new.
And it's great.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
great. Yeah.
Well, if you're an audio listener, just know that he did not even move his mouth when he said Wheel of Challenges.
Ventriloquist.
Yep. So let's bring up the wheel because one live viewer. So as we usually do every month, one live viewer will be selected to face off against this wheel. You have a chance to win the grand prize, which is a 1-year membership on Project GC. To enter, make sure that you send an email with the subject containing "spin me," followed by your geocaching username in brackets, and the answer to the following question. The first verified user gets the wheel, and your profile will be checked live on Project GC, and if you qualify, you will win. This is your question. How many years has the GeoChallenge of the Month been running? If you were listening, you would know.
If you were listening.
I had to, the math for that. So 52. Does that actually work out? So it's 12, 9 months a year. 6, 54. But you said this is the 52nd this month. Maybe there was a month or two where there wasn't a challenge.
No?
No? 52nd? Unless it's, so January, February, March.
This
the
month
math
might
doesn't
be,
add up.
This month is 53.
Oh, it's 53.
This
Oh, and
month's
then there we
53.
go.
And then
because
December will
54
be
for
54,
December.
and then
Yeah.
it's 9 times 6. Boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We've officially
Perfect.
done 52. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completed.
I think we just gave away the answer as well.
I did. Sorry about that.
Well, surely somebody has it in now.
Yep. And last month we got 2 winners on one of the items, so there is a new challenge on the wheel.
Oh.
I'm intrigued.
It was the last month. It was a 3 difficulty, and it has been replaced with another one. Only it's a 5 difficulty now. And yeah, so it's a fun little challenge with this wheel. These challenges could be placed anywhere in the world, so it's not like you have to go and actually find the cache as well. It's just a matter of qualifying, and then you could win. And I'm wondering, does anybody know what the answer is?
Do you have no entries?
Or maybe my Gmail isn't updating.
Oh.
My app isn't updating. There has been
Hit refresh.
one that has come in.
The
Make
chat is
sure
wanting
that-
the instructions and the email address once again, if you want to put it back up there.
challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com.
There it is.
Send with "spin me" in the title, followed by your geocaching username. Why are you not showing me new emails? There we go.
Got
Now
it.
they're
I was
coming
like
in.
trying to think, how do I switch to the Challenge Talk account and look at the email?
We have. Oh, there's one. Okay, I think we have a winner. We have Acorn Mama, who has sent in 6 as the answer.
Correct.
Yay! That is the correct answer. So, let's see what happens when we spin this wheel. Difficulty 4. It is GC2A00B, the NASCAR Challenge Cache. I think this one has shown up before. It is 4 difficulty, 1.5 terrain in Ohio, placed by Team Mina. And it is placed 2010, so it's pre-moratorium. In this challenge, well, it's a whole bunch of pictures of NASCAR vehicles. But the challenge is, if we scroll down here, to find a geocache, including events, with each of the championship car number in the cache ID code. So the GC code.
So in the GC code. That's unique.
The list needs to contain the car number, cache ID, the cache name, and the date of the find. So that's your proof of qualification.
Wow, I think about the way I do bookmarking for old challenges, and I think I'd have to pause and figure out how to look this up for myself.
Yep. So
But there is a checker there. So
Yeah, there is now. Yeah, he's got the list of all of the cars, all of the winning cars. So you have your reference, and you just need to find caches that have those numbers in the GC code. For example, GC1TA38 qualifies for number 38. And
thank goodness there's a checker. Holy cow.
Wow.
I can't imagine going through all my finds.
This was one of the things that I liked about the pre-moratorium challenges. Part of the challenge was determining
was
if you qualify.
doing all that work.
Yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun.
Yeah, I
So
definitely have
let's-
days where I'm like, no, not today. No.
So, username Acorn Mama in the profile name. Select it, and here we go.
All right.
This is very exciting.
Had to get the drum roll in
Yeah.
there. Qualifies.
Hey!
Awesome.
So that's all of those GC codes. So it gives you the results. You've got the full list of 97 qualifying caches. Excellent.
How
Good
exciting.
job.
Congratulations.
Go find it.
I want to
That's
know if
right.
I qualify. Can you put my name in, Jeff?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I want to know if I do too.
It's geocaching vlogger.
Right. Yeah. Geocaching.
No space.
No space. One word. There it is.
All right, here we go. This is exciting.
Timing is everything. Qualifies.
Yay!
What do I get?
Excellent. You get to be on the show. Woohoo!
Yay, thank you. Thank you.
Can you check for me real quick?
Yes.
I'd love to know.
This is just compelling content right now. Just checking.
There is a space, yeah.
Yeah. Lookout Lisa. Oh, what if there's another Lookout Lisa?
There isn't.
And Lisa qualifies as well. Woohoo! It's
We're
a 3
all
difficulty
winners.
challenge. Yeah, so it probably isn't all that hard if you found at least a few thousand caches.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's kind of what I was thinking, but
Yeah.
you never know.
Awesome. Excellent. So we'll be in touch, Acorn Mama, so that you can get your prize.
Yay!
And moving on, we also have our monthly challengers, where every month we give a congratulatory shout out to listeners who email us proof of qualifying and logging a challenge cache since the last show. And anyone who sends an email to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com got a little hiccup there, with the GC code, with a find log, and if you like, you can send a photo and a little story. We might highlight it as well. And do that for the month, and you'll be entered for the prize giveaway, which is a Challenge Talk GeoCoin. Let me get this out of its little envelope.
Ooh la
That is
la.
our
Nice.
Challenge Talk coin.
I have a lot of those coins for the Geocache Talk Network, but I don't have that one.
Oh.
And I do
Did
have.
you
I do
send
have-
us in a story?
I do have a little purple coin that you might like to trade for.
Ooh.
If you are unaware, Geocache Talk Network, every podcast has a exclusive GeoCoin as well. So if you listen to the shows, there may be various ways to purchase and or win them. So make sure you tune in. So let's check out some highlights, because we always get a whole bunch of them, and we got to pick out just a few of them. So first off, we have GC8 H25V, and that is BLA challenges, dangers of caching. I think there's some special characters that should be in there. This one is published 2019 in Arizona, and I thought this was intriguing because this is another attribute challenge, and it's to find 150 geocaches. I believe that was the number, wherever it is. Find 150 geocaches with the dangerous attribute. So
Well, that's exciting.
Ooh. Ah,
any
that makes
sure.
any like dangerous animals, dangerous area, that sort of thing. So this is an adventurous challenge for people.
Yeah.
It's the nice thing with even post-moratorium, you can do attribute challenges and select individual attributes. So you can come up with a theme, a combination of attributes for a theme. We have some one person in our region who has a challenge for finding a small number of geocaches that have both boat required and dog friendly.
Oh,
Because he goes out paddling with his dog all
with
the time.
his dog.
So,
Makes sense. And speaking of, we have Goliath in the room.
hey.
Oh, you guys, he's been scratching the door the whole time. I've been
My
gone.
cat has been too.
I've been gone all week. And I got home from my work trip, and then I went to the office, and he was so upset.
Oh, well, we're glad to have him.
Yeah.
He's
Cameo,
adorable.
15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Next up, we have GC53G0K Max B's All the President's Men County Challenge. And this one was sent in by Merlin 1392. Oh, the previous one was sent in by Bedstafotterskule. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. But shout out for that. And so this one was sent in by Merlin 1392, and this one is 2014, pre-moratorium. It is a 1 difficulty, so supposedly not that hard. Trying to read all of this to pick out where the actual qualification is. Where was it? I think it's right about here. The challenge is to find a cache in each of 10 different U.S. counties or Louisiana parishes, named with the last name of 10 different former presidents.
Okay. Cool.
How many counties in the U.S. are named after presidents?
Many.
Sounds like there
Many,
must be a
many.
whole lot.
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
We don't do that in Canada. We don't have our premier PM's names on our counties.
No?
But yeah, I guess 10 counties isn't too hard. And it must be that there's a whole lot of them. Maybe in Michigan. That might be something that's regional. Maybe Michigan just has a whole lot of counties after presidents. But
It doesn't say it's regional.
No, but one of the things with challenge caches, reviewers might rate them differently based on how easy it is in their region compared to others.
Ah, okay.
I know.
Makes sense.
When we saw some challenge caches in Nevada, I always comment about this. We found some there where it was about finding a certain number of finds, so having a find count, but it was like bronze, silver, and gold. And the bronze, I think, was to have something like 20,000 finds.
Oh, wow.
Are you kidding me?
Yikes.
Maybe I'm embellishing, and the number just keeps going up. But it was just the bronze was a ridiculous
But
high
it was
count.
a big number.
Yeah. Because
wow.
Nevada is filled with power trails through the desert. There's just so many geocaches.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Next up, we have one sent in by, I'm going to get this right this time, Oh To Be Hiking,
Yeah.
GC58 TFW. GC58 TFW. It is the Mary Poppins Challenge cache. Can you guess what you got to do with this one? It's pre-moratorium.
Okay.
So it's a rule you can't do anymore. Can't
My
use
brain
anymore.
says sugar, so I don't know. Spoonful of sugar is all that's coming to my head.
There's a big word there. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You must spell the word out using the first letter of your puzzle of found puzzle cache names.
So not just all caches.
Yes. So there's 2 factors here. One, it's a text-based puzzle, so it's based on puzzle cache names, and 2, it's specifically puzzle caches. So if there were challenge caches, they can specifically say you can't use that cache because it's not a puzzle cache, because it's pre-moratorium. So you have to have puzzle caches on this one.
I want to know why that guy's so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because it's such an old cache. This is their placeholder because the image is no longer available
Oh, okay.
from tinypic.com.
So it has nothing to do with it. Okay.
I wonder if they know that. They should edit it and re-upload the photo.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, look at
What
that.
state is this in? Because I know O to be hiking has been traveling around. So where
This
did
is
she
in
find
Colorado.
this? In Colorado. Cool.
4.5 difficulty. You know, doing that with just any cache probably isn't all that hard. But yeah, puzzle cache
Yeah.
names.
That just notched
reduces
it up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, reduces a whole lot of selection. Looking at the hint is one long word. What word could that be? Decrypt. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That's hilarious.
Fun.
It looks the same whether it's encrypted or decrypted. It's a jumble of letters.
And we've got Just Finding Our Way in the chat saying he qualifies and has it on his to-do list for Colorado.
Ooh,
Hey.
excellent.
Cool.
Sweet. You should take an umbrella when you go find this cache.
Yeah, fun pictures.
Next up, we have one sent in by Peter of Kazoo Otters. It is GC18, GC18AWG, the Well-Rounded Cacher Challenge, Virginia Edition. So, if you know well-rounded cacher challenges, you'd think, okay, it's a matter of, say, getting a certain number of cache types in a day or completing a fizzy grid. This one has a little bit of a twist. It is to find a fizzy grid, so completing your fizzy grid, but it's also including the all of these 8 listed essential cache types. So you have to have a fizzy grid including all of these types, at least one of each, plus one non-essential because they were rated mega events, GPS adventure, locationless, and where I go are fairly rare, I guess, around there. So all of the essential plus one non-essential and filling your DT grid. But the big twist here, again, this is where it gets a little weird because we are now in 2021, but it was published pre-moratorium. So the rules that are grandfathered for this allow it to say over the past 4 years. So as the current date moves on, so does the cutoff date. So currently the cutoff
so they're
year.
keeping that up to date.
Yeah. So your qualifying caches can only be found between 2017 and 2021.
That's an interesting twist. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't work on
And
that.
so
all
like
the
it's
time.
actively changing, which isn't allowable, but it is in this case.
It's grandfathered in. And yeah, like if you look at this now, it's effectively a current challenge because you have to find caches from 2017 to now. So, but it's grandfathered because it's pre-moratorium. I hadn't seen that before. I didn't know that was even possible.
This is a pandemic.
Yeah.
Does that increase the
Oh, yeah.
difficulty?
Half the qualification range is pandemic years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one was definitely unique. I thought that was a fun one to bring in.
How many finds does it
Next.
have?
It has 66.
Okay.
Published, in 2008. So in 13 years, it's got 66 finds. Is it in the middle of nowhere? Or, it's just off a road. Zooming out. Well, it does look like it's kind of out in the boonies.
Yeah.
It is a road out in the middle of nowhere. By
Damascus.
Intriguing, yeah. One to put on the bucket list there. Another one. Next up, we have another one from Bloody Cool, who has sent in GC9F6WB, the JCCS DT Attribute Challenge, bracket heifer with a check mark. JCCS is a series of challenge caches, so this is one of them.
Okay.
And it was just recently published in August 2021, and it's in Georgia. 4.5 difficulty. The challenge cache is a heifer challenge and is intended for more experienced users. It might make an excellent caching goal for newer cachers. The challenge cache, to meet the requirement, you must find caches with 81 unique attributes. So, You've got to have a DT grid, but every difficulty terrain combination has to have a unique attribute. We have one like that in my region, and trying to figure out if you qualify for it if there wasn't a script would be kind of nuts.
Yeah. That would be
But,
some grid book working.
Yeah. So it's really just a matter of having your fizzy grid and then making sure that you can claim an attribute with a unique GC code. But a lot of work still.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Because for that one, 81, there's still many more attributes than 81. But there are some fairly rare ones. So when you get up to that 81 amount, you're going to have to start looking for more rare attributes to fill possibly some rare difficulty terrain combinations.
And sometimes with that, you have to like track which cache has which thing, because you might want to save it for the harder one and use a different attribute for an. Yeah, sometimes you just have to juggle that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it could take some swapping around.
Choose where to use it.
Yeah, and this is not an easy script. As a programmer, I'm trying to think of how you would create an algorithm to choose them and qualify. And it's hard enough to do it manually, but to make a script to do that automatically, this is one of those more challenging scripts to provide. But I think there's one that has a whole bunch of varieties. So again, all you got to do is ask a script writer in the forum, and they'll do whatever is necessary.
Hey, I qualify. I'm
Cool.
intrigued. Yeah.
Yeah. Another one that was sent in from Kitty Catch. This is one that she has published.
Oh, good.
It is GC9F9XJ, the Dog Lovers Challenge. And this is similar to the one we were just describing, where it's a themed combination of attributes. The challenge is to find one cache that has at least 3 of the 4 listed attributes related to dogs. Long walk, may require waiting, food nearby, and, of course, dogs allowed.
You know, it sounds simple, but I've never thought of the idea of combining attributes into a requirement. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you do have to make sure that there are qualifying caches in your region.
True. True.
So you can't just pick 2 random and stick them together. But that could be fun, but you got to make sure that there's qualifiers. But yeah, it's a nice little themed challenge that I thought was worth highlighting. And I kind of have news, because I finally got a challenge cache that I've been meaning to get out since last year, but mostly since this summer. It is one dedicated to Mingo, GC9B8AK. GC9B8AK, Mingo's Coming of Age Challenge. 3.5 difficulty, not too hard. But we all know that Mingo had its 20th birthday last year, and all this stuff happened. We could barely celebrate it, but we had Geocache Talks, big Mingo celebration event, and so I decided to publish a cache for its coming of age, 21. Yeah, it may be different in various places, but generally speaking, 21. You must have found at least 21 geocaches placed on May 11th of any year.
Oh, cool.
And of those 12 geocaches, at least 12 years must be represented. Okay. 21 to flip it to 12. And so this is one. This took a little bit of back and forth with the reviewer, because you can't require place or find dates. Originally, I wanted to be you had to cache on May 11th of those years, so you have to have, spanning a certain number of years, a certain number of caches found on May 11th of those years, but that wasn't allowed. So place date isn't as hard, and I think most places have way more than 21 caches placed. So, and then 12 is just a flip. Of all the people that have checked, I think on average in my region, the high finders are in that 14 to 15 range years. But one little twist to this, kind of like my Ironman challenge, I have added a bonus challenge to see if you can find a cache hidden on May 11th of every year since May. So that's 21 years. Most people, it's
May 11th.
Yeah. Most people have 2000. May 11, 2000. Because that's Mingo. If you
Right.
find Mingo, you've already got 2000. And then all the most recent years, pretty much everybody's got these ones, depending on how many are placed. But there's this little gap where people haven't found because, who wants to find a cache that was placed May 11th of 2001? What's the significance of that? But if you do a search, in the world, there are only three geocaches that are active placed May 11th of 2001. And they're all in Western United States.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it's doable. It's doable. But yeah, wouldn't be able to put this into the actual challenge, but it's a bonus challenge for bragging rights that I can post to you guys, our listeners. See if you can find.
Can you create a checker for something that's not an actual cache?
They can write scripts.
Yeah, can you create a checker for this bonus?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I'll show you the actual script results.
I would think
if you load up the checker. The results do list all of the years that qualify, so all of the caches you found, so you can see if you've got all.
Oh, that makes
21.
sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Yes.
So it lists all of them, and then you can check out which years you're missing, and then aim. So I'm missing 2001 to 2007. There's a gap there, and 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah, all the others are fine. And then it gives a second list to how many years you've covered. So I've got 13 out of the 12. So I pass. But getting all 21? Oh, man. So look up, because now on that advanced search on geocaching.com, you can search by place date, and you can give a specific place date. So if you need to find one to qualify, just put in a place date of the year, month, day, and you can even see the map of where those caches are placed, and then stick them on your visit list, your itinerary. So happy birthday, Mingo. And I put a little effort into the actual hide. So the tough part was finding a location that was
looked like
reminiscent
that.
of
Yeah,
Mingo.
it looks like Mingo.
That's fun. Good job.
This
That's
isn't
the kind
the
of
cache.
stuff
This
that
is
makes
this
it
is
special.
Mingo.
Sure, that's Mingo.
Okay.
But that kind of stuff is what makes a cache special. All
Yeah.
the little touches. Yeah.
One recent finder did take a photo at GZ, so you get kind of there's the cache.
Very
Oh.
good. Very good.
Right.
And the location, there is a fence. There's a fence line there, and it bends off with a big highway up there. So it's kind of the same, kind of similar. It's a Canadian version of Mingo Place.
Awesome. Well done.
So, yeah. So, remember, if you're listening, to enter for next month for this challenge, send your email in before next month's show. And so, the random winner of this month's Geo coin is Kazoo Otters. Congratulations.
Congratulations. I love that name too.
I guess he's another family. It's Peter of Kazoo Otters who sent in the challenge caches for this month. So good job. Thanks for sending it in. We love to see him. And if you are doing the Geo Challenge this month, then you can also send in your qualification to us and be entered into the draw for next month. Double dipping, triple dipping. How many things can you
Lots of dipping this month.
get from this? And finally, our last little highlight, as I like to do with every show, is to remind you about the Iron Man Bingo Challenge. This was a challenge I placed in 2012. It took a whole lot of effort to get this published, a lot of negotiating. And this challenge is a bingo grid. So the idea behind here is you're qualifying for a certain number of 25 different possible mini challenges. In this case, you're trying to make a line in the bingo grid by, for example, finding 15 consecutive days of multi-caches, plus 15 days of mysteries, plus 15 days of large, and 10 days consecutive earth caches, and 5 days of abandoned structures in order to qualify for a line, or any other number combination. The centerpiece is 100 consecutive days of geocaching, and it is possible to complete the entire grid of consecutive day challenges within that 100-day geocaching window. And that's just nuts. But there are people who have done it.
There are nuts out there.
And I'm keeping track of people who qualify and do a little bit above and beyond by, for example, completing diagonals or completing certain shapes, like an X or an I, the top, bottom, and the center, the H or an O, and of course, the full card. And I am nearing the point of minting a special GeoCoin, which will be given to people who qualify for these extra bonus challenges. So my extension to our community is, if you are able to qualify for the entire card, if you can complete that full grid of 25 consecutive day mini challenges, then you will also win one of these GeoCoins. You don't have to come and sign the log. You just have to show evidence of qualification, and you can win.
Awesome.
And you will win. And has there been an update since last month? There hasn't. Not yet. But there are still people working on it. So if you are, let me know. Or post a note. Let me know if you're working on it, how far you are. It's always good to see people update their status. And hopefully at some point you'll be able to qualify. I think it would be really cool if we can get some of the initial qualifiers for this challenge on the show, because to talk about how
what they did
all
to make this happen.
Oh, yeah.
Because they had a spreadsheet and the planning, the driving. It was ridiculous. But it was awesome. So get to it. I still got to qualify. This was published pre-moratorium, so I still don't qualify. So you didn't
qualify.
Every month I say I got to bat down and figure out what I need to qualify. And it's close. There's a couple of squares I need to do. But so any other thoughts, anything else you want to say about GeoChallenge of the month? Get people excited, raring to go?
Well, watch for the video on Sunday for sure. Right. Yeah.
Even though they already know because of the exclusive information from Challenge Talk podcast. It was fun to be on the show.
Exclusive with us.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you guys so much.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. Thanks
Didn't even
for
think about
us.
that. It was great that the next challenge is related to.
I know. I got really excited when I saw that and knew you were coming on the show. That was fun.
Awesome.
Just one more reminder, everybody, that the podcast of Hope is coming up. So make sure that you mark that off on your calendar and double check all of the guests and the shows, the segments, and be there and donate and help, because we want to try to hit that target this year. geocachetalk.com/hope. That's your hub for all things podcast of Hope. And hopefully we will see you there. There's lots of fun stuff planned.
Yeah.
Lots is going to happen.
December 5th.
Yep. And reminder that December 2nd is our next show. It's the first Thursday of the month. So it's the Thursday before Podcast of Hope. We will be reminding everybody once again.
Yeah.
And tune in. Show notes for this evening's show will be posted shortly in the video description on YouTube and various places. So if you want links, that's where you go. Once again, thank you guys for joining us. It was a blast. And looking forward to December's GeoChallenge.
Absolutely. We are too. Well, thanks for having us. It was great.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for watching and listening. And remember, it's not about the numbers. It's about the challenge. Yes, we're making it about the challenge now. See you next month.
Bye.